Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. This Shabbat is Parshat Parah, where we read for the Maftir from the Parsha of Chukat, the mitzvah regarding the Parah Adumah, which is sacrificed and burned, and its ashes are used to purify people from Tumat Met, Tumah that exists coming in contact with death. The reason Parshat Parah, we read it now, is because it's introductory to Pesach. Because by Pesach, the Korban Pesach, it says, Kol Tomei Lo Yochal Bo. Anyone who is Tomei cannot eat the Korban Pesach, and therefore the process of purification from Tumat Met must occur before Pesach. There are a few interesting things regarding this halacha. First of all, the whole concept of the Parah Adumah is beyond the rational explanation. It's the ultimate chok. Chazal said on the posuk that Shlomo HaMelech said, "Amarti echkomo v'hi rechoko mimeni." I thought I was smart enough to figure it out. Echkomo, I'll be a chacham. But at the end, v'hi rechoko mimeni. It was too much for me, too far. I was unable to deal with it. So it's the ultimate chok. And we see that it has the power to be metame tahorim and to be matayer tmeim. It has both qualities. It can bring purification, but it can bring tumah as well. And it all depends on who is using it, on whom, on all of the intricacies that the halacha describes for us regarding Parah Adumah. And there's a Masechta in Mishnayos, Maseches Parah, and there's a Tosefta Parah, where all of this is discussed. You know, this is all foreign to us naturally, because we don't have a Beit HaMikdash, and we're all Tmei Mesim, we're all Tmei, because we're in Chutz La'aretz. There's a countless reasons why we are not considered tahor, and therefore it really doesn't pertain to us in this manner. But there's an interesting halacha regarding the Korban Pesach. The Gemara says, with the rov hatzibur is tomei, if the majority of the congregation of the Jewish people finds themselves impure, let's say there was, God forbid, a funeral of the leader of the people, and everybody came to the funeral, so everybody became Tmei Mesim, or the majority of the Jewish people became Tmei Mesim. So then the halacha is that they are allowed to bring the Korban Pesach. Say difference of opinion whether Tuma Hutra B'tzibur or Tuma Dechuya B'tzibur. Was Hutra B'tzibur means that the Tuma doesn't exist at all. That when we're talking about such a large Tzibur, large number of people being Tomei, so there's no, the laws of Tuma were never applicable there. Tuma Tchuya is that they are applicable, but nevertheless, we push them aside. So there are many Meforshim that deal with it in the same concept as Aseh Doche Lo Sa'aseh. That a mitzvah Aseh is Doche the Lo Sa'aseh, that will be performed in order to accomplish the mitzvahs aseh. And on that, there's a whole, literally a whole rabbinic literature on why that should work. But what's the logic behind it? But they would say the same thing here by Tuma and the Tzibur. So it's the mitzvah aseh of the Tzibur to bring the Korban Pesach. It's dochet alosa aseh of the Tuma of Kol Tum Tomei Lo Yochal Bo. Why does it apply only by the Tzibur and not by the Yochid? So that also is a matter of great discussion in all of the works of the Chachamim over the generations that examined the problem. But we would think the opposite. We would think that if a person, one individual, or 10 individuals, or 1,000, or 100,000 are Tomei, so then we say, too bad, Pesach Sheni. You can't bring the Korban Pesach now. We're going to postpone Pesach till your Pesach, your Korban Pesach, till the 14th of Iyar. And then you'll bring the Korban, and that's it. So we would say, Kal v'chomer, if the entire Jewish people are Tomei, that we should push it away. Why do we get, so to speak, to the tipping point that if a majority are Tomei, then it doesn't exist? So in this, there is a discussion of the power of the tzibur. Tzibur, loosely translated, is the community. It comes to word tzavur, gathered together. The community has to be dealt with differently than the individual. So a tzibur is not a million individuals. A tzibur is a tzibur, one tzibur. Whereas individuals are always individuals. They're always single people. Single person, so if he's Tomei, so let him wait the month. But the tzibur, the one tzibur of Klal Yisrael, that has a power that cannot be postponed. It cannot be pushed away. And Chazal were very, very insistent on the powers of a tzibur. And we have it in davening, the tzorchei tzibur be'amunah. Tzibur is a special entity unto itself. And therefore we have halacha of tircha de tzibura, that we cannot overburden the tzibur, because the tzibur has an importance, an intrinsic importance by itself. And therefore you have to respect it. And how do we respect it? By not doing unnecessary things that delay the tzibur, that demean the tzibur, that, so to speak, say the tzibur is not important. And Chazal darshan that on the posuk, Yivarovom Hadras Melech. The glory of the king is to be seen when he has a large attendance, when people come, when people join the tzibur. And throughout Jewish history, that has always been the thrust. The thrust is to make a tzibur and not to fracture into small, different pieces. Because the moment you do that, then they all become individuals. Individuals are always worthy of criticism, always have failings, leads always to disputes. A tzibur, you have to show it respect. It's, so to speak, above criticism. It's above complaint. That's what the tzibur is. That was the idea with a Beit HaKnesset always. That's why Chazal called it a Beit HaKnesset. There's a Beit HaMidrash, that's to learn Torah. There's a Bayit of Chesed, that's to do Chesed. But there's a Beit HaKnesset to gather people to make a tzibur, that's a different halach. That's deserving, therefore, of a different level of approach and of behavior and the understanding of its importance. And one of the strong disputes that existed and still exist within the Jewish Orthodox world, certainly, is the fact that the tzibur is not built, but rather people have their own conveniences and their own times. So that doesn't have a din of tzibur. So the Parsha of Torah comes to tell us that you have to prepare for Pesach. So we all know preparation for Pesach involves cleaning and purchasing and all of the other things that we associate with it. But it also involves purification. To think about Pesach, what it represents. Because Pesach is the holiday of Emunah, the faith of the Jewish people. It says, Vayamein ha'om, the people believe. And because of that, therefore, the holiday of Pesach deserves preparation. And again, not just physical preparation, but mental and spiritual preparation as well, to look forward to the great Yom Tov that Pesach represents. So that will be part of the idea of Parshat Parah that we'll hear on Shabbos. And Amir Tzeshem leads to Parshat HaChodesh and to Shabbat HaGadol and to the great and glorious Yom Tov of Pesach itself. Rabbi Chananya ben Akash Yomer Ratzah Kodesh Baruch Hu L'Zakos Es Yisrael Lefichach Hirbo Lahem Torah Mitzvot Shenemar Adonai Chafetz Uman Tzidko Yagdil Torah V'Yadil.